These are the days, these are the nights that baseball players live for.
Yeah, they really are, Jack, because that's what you start out in your career to do, to play in the World Series. That's what you have spring training for. You prepare. The front office, the management, the coaches, the players, it all boils down to 3 days in cold Montreal.
The temperature is 46 degrees here at game time and a predicted low of 35. And the winds are up to 20 miles an hour, and they're blowing straight out toward right. But even the left-handed batters are really going to have to pull the ball down the line in order to get the ball out of this ballpark this evening. We'll be back with the starting lineups and then the play-by-play of this crucial contest in just 1 minute. Steve Rogers, the starting pitcher from Montreal, is ready to go. He's in the dugout. The Expos will be taking the field in a moment. Bob Forsch is still warming up for the Cardinals, and here's Mike Shannon with the starting lineup. Lou Brock leads it off in left field for the Cards.
Ted Sizemore will hit second in the Cardinal lineup, and he'll play second base. And before we go any further, we'll have the national anthems of both ball clubs. For the Cardinals, Lou Brock leads it off. He's in left field. Ted Sizemore at second base. Reggie Smith in right field hitting third. Ted Simmons is the Cardinal catch-up, and he's the cleanup hitter. Joe Torre at first base will hit fifth tonight. Jake McBride in the Cardinal lineup. He'll hit sixth. It's Kenny Reitz at third, hitting seventh. The eighth man in the batting order for the Cardinals is Mike Tyson, their shortstop. On the hill, the right-hander, Bob Forsch. He's won 6, he's lost 4. He's 0-1 this year against the Expos, and that's his career mark against the Montreal club. Brock, Sizemore, and Smith. Simmons, Torrey, and McBride. Reitz, Tyson, and Bob Forsch. The Expos have Larry Lynch leading it off. He'll play second base. The shortstop, Tim Foley, will hit second. Willie Davis is in center field, and he'll hit third. The cleanup man is the first baseman, Mike Jorgensen. In right will be Ken Singleton. Singleton will hit fifth. Jerry White, a rookie, will hold down left field, and he'll hit sixth tonight for the Expos. Barry Foote is their catcher, and he'll hit seventh. In the eighth slot is a 6'3" Larry Parrish. He's at third base. Parrish hits eighth, and he'll play third base. On the hill, Steve Rogers, the right-hander. He's won 15. He has lost 21. He beat the Cardinals twice earlier this year, and since then he's lost 3 in a row to the Redbirds. So he's won 2, he's lost 3 in 74. This is his 6th start against the Cardinals. Lifetime, he has a record of 3 wins and 3 losses against St. Louis. It's Lynch, Foley, and Davis, Jorgensen, Singleton, and White, Foote, Parrish, and Rogers.
The Pirates each have a record of 85 wins and 74 losses with 3 games remaining. The Cardinals against Montreal have won 8 and lost 7. In this ballpark, the Cards have won 2 out of 6. So the Expos have the edge in this ballpark, whereas the Cardinals handled them well in St. Louis. All of the outfielders are playing very shallow with the way the wind is blowing, and Brock is the leadoff man. Left fielder White is in, Davis is in. The first pitch is low and away for a ball. Brock batting .308, 3 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Third baseman Parrish plays in close. Here's the pitch, swing and a chopper to the second baseman. Lynch gets it, throws low but out as Jorgensen came up with the ball. Jorgensen, a slick fielding first baseman, helped the second baseman out with a good play.
Well, he's a good fielding first baseman, Jack. He struggled this year with the bat, Jorgensen has. It hasn't bothered his fielding, and he's come around with a stick, too. His average is way over the 300 mark now after struggling way down around the 200 mark through mid-July.
It really seems strange to see the outfielders stationed where they are. But because of the very strong wind tonight, they are all shallow. The pitch to Sizemore is over but low, ball 1. Sizemore is hitting .252.
One thing about those outfielders, Jack, if they have to turn and go either way, they better make sure they know what they're doing. If they better turn the way that wind is blowing, because if they don't, they might get hit right atop the head.
Here it comes to Sizemore. Strike call, and Rogers' cap flew off his head as he made the pitch. That's the way the wind is whipping across the field. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sizemore. Reggie Smith will be next. Even though the wind is blowing strongly to right, the left-handed batters are really going to have to pull the ball down the line. Here it comes, and a swing and a foul off to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brock is bounced out to start it. And Sizemore is in the hole against Steve Rogers, a young man who attended the University of Tulsa. Here is his pitch, and it's a line drive base hit into left, and a high pitch from Rogers. His shoulders sagged as he saw the ball lined out into left field off the bat of Sizemore, and the hitter is Reggie Smith. Smith has started the last 3 games, in fact, but then had to duck out with a bad back in the 5th inning of most of them. Smith, the switch hitter, batting left-handed. He's hitting .310, leads the club in home runs with 22. Sizemore, short lead. Rogers pitches, curve, and it's a strike call on the outside corner. Rogers, a brilliant pitcher a year ago, has had a struggling year with a mark of 15 and 21. He's working in a hurry. He pitches, another curve and a swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. And these Expos know that Smith has that bad back. They also know he's a fastball hitter. 2 off-speed curveballs that put Rogers quickly ahead of the Cardinal right fielder. On deck, it's Ted Simmons. Playing near the line in right field is Singleton. Willie Davis is in right center. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a high pop-up. A foul ball, and Jorgensen might have a play. It goes out of play as the wind carried it back about 5 rows. He would have been out otherwise.
Yeah, that ball carried about 40 feet further than it normally would with the wind blowing like it is from left to right. It's going to be difficult to hit the ball out of here tonight, and we may see some of those fielders struggling a bit on pop flies.
Third baseman plays way off the line as Sizemore takes the lead at first. And the pitch to Reggie Smith. High and away for a ball, 1-2. Parrish is about 20 feet off the third base line. More than that, perhaps. Jorgensen holding against Sizemore. Off the stretch. Here's the pitch. High and away with a fastball. 2-2 the count. Brock bounced out. Sizemore singled. It's 2-2 on Reggie Smith. Pirates are batting in the second, trailing the Cubs by the score of 1-0. The 2-2 delivery, and Smith on a curve takes it high. Ball 3, a full count. And Rogers wants a new baseball from the plate umpire, Billy Williams. Steve Rogers gets the sign from Barry Foote. A lead by the runner. Sizemore might go. He is going, and ball 4 is inside. Sizemore goes to second as Smith draws a walk, and there are 2 men on with 1 man out. He was way ahead of Smith. Then he tried to set him up for the curve, missed with fastballs, missed with a curve, and then curved him on 3-2 and walked it. The Pirates are batting in the bottom of the third now, with the Cubs leading by the score of 1-0. And Ted Simmons could put the Cards on top. He has an even 100 runs batted in. 19 home runs, a .272 batting mark. He's hitting left-handed. Here is the pitch, and he takes it low for a ball. Bob Forsch will be the Cardinal hurler tonight. A 1-out single by Sizemore. The follow-up walk to Smith. The shortstop Foley is playing Simmons to hit up the middle. There's loads of hitting room through the left side. Here comes the pitch from Rogers to Simmons, and it's over but low for a ball. Like the way these outfielders, particularly at this point with the left fielder, are playing, a base hit to left might not get the runner home.
No, he's only about 250 feet from home plate. It's 340 down the left field line, and he's a good 100 feet, maybe 150 feet from that line, Jack. The line where the 340 mark is, he's way in.
Cal McClish, the pitching coach, goes to the mound, and the Expos start to warm up the pitcher. That's the kind of game this is. They're going to warm up 2 pitchers. Both right-handers. One of them is Tom Walker. And the other is John Montague. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Ted Simmons. Torrey on deck, 2 men on, 1 man out here in the Cardinal first inning. Third baseman Parrish is over talking to the hurler. And Rogers stands back on. Sizemore is being held close at second by Foley. Here is the pitch to Ted Simmons. And it's a strike call, a fastball over the outside corner. 2-1 the count. A base hit and a walk, and the Cardinals threaten in the opening inning. Simmons waiting. Here it comes. Fastball, and it's grounded foul down the right side. Rolls slowly into the Cardinal dugout, making the count 2-2. So Rogers have been missing with a curveball. The pitching coach, McClish, came out and talked to him. He's thrown a couple of fastballs and even the count to Simmons on 2-2. The gap in the outfield is in left center as they play Simmons to pull the ball. The runners lead away. Here is the pitch from Rogers. And a line drive into right field, and the ball is at the wall and gone for a line drive. 3-run homer to put the Cardinals on top in the opening inning.
And the wind did help that ball. He hit it so extremely hard. Instead of sinking, the wind helped it stay up, and it blew right over the fence.
The ball looked like it was going right at Singleton in right field, and it just took off and zoomed over the fence in right. And the Cardinals have 3 quick ones. A walk to Smith after a base hit by Sizemore, and Simmons is now driven in. 103 runs for the year. The batter is Torrey.
Remember what Red Shaneen said about Simmons going down the month of September, Jack? He knew something.
He said he might carry the Cardinal ball club because these averages in baseball always seem to find their level. And Simmons had been struggling. Here's a strike call to Torrey, hitting 281. You wouldn't believe that ball that Simmons hit. It was a line drive that headed right at the right fielder Singleton, and then the wind moved it away from him and blew it over the fence. Ball inside to Torrey, which is not to say that Simmons didn't hit the ball well, because he did. He really corked it. And it just cleared the low fence in right field. 1 ball, 1 strike to Torrey, and a swing and a ground ball. Oh, the third baseman made a sparkling play. Throws him out. He really covered some ground and threw Torrey out at first base.
He robbed him of a base hit. He went extremely far to his left. And the book on that young man, Terry Perry, is that he's the best fielding third baseman they have in their organization. They like him a lot. And they put him into the lineup this evening.
3-0, the Cardinals lead in the opening inning. The batter is Bake McBride, hitting with 2 men out. The first pitch to the Baker, and it's a breaking ball low, and Rogers is missing with that curveball, Mike.
And that's why Simmons waited on that number 1 and drilled it, Jack. When you can't get that breaking ball over, these hitters just sit back and say, come to me.
Next one to McBride is high with a fastball, ball 2. Walker and Montague, 2 right-handers, warming up in the bullpen. The Cardinals against Montreal in this series will be facing Rogers, then Perez, then Rinko, all right-handers. And the Cardinals are pitching Forsch, Gibson tomorrow, and then McLaughlin. Here is the pitch, and it's high for a ball, and that's ball 3 to Bake McBride, and Rogers is on the ropes. The Expos are hopeful of getting to the 500 mark. In order to do that, they'd have to sweep the series from the Cardinals. They're also battling for third place with the Phillies. Montreal a record of 78 and 81. The pitch, strike call, 3-1. Brock bounced out. Sizemore singles. Smith walked. Simmons drilled a home run over the right field fence. And the Cardinals lead 3-0 in the opening inning. Here's the pitch to McBride. Swing and a chopper off the pitcher's glove to the second baseman Lynch. He throws for the out, and the inning is over. 3 runs for the Cards. Sounds funny to hear the fans applauding with the gloves on. 3 runs, 2 hits. No errors and nobody left. At the end of 1 half inning, 3-0 St. Louis. We go on to the home half of the opening inning. The Cardinals are on top by the score of 3-0. Bob Forsch is on the mound for the Cardinals, a record of 6-4. Simmons is his catcher. Reach, Tyson, Sizemore, Torrey on the infield. And in the outfield, it's Brock, McBride, and Smith.
What was it you said about Bob Forsch the last time he pitched, Jack? He was backed against the wall. A big game for a rookie. He had trouble.
He'd like to atone for that game against the Pirates when they got those 5 in the first.
Well, he has his chance. Now he's been supplied with a little breathing room. With Simmons a 3-run homer, Forsch will have a little breathing room to start this ball game. He has 2 speed youngsters to lead it off. Lynn's the first guy. You got to keep him off base. He's a little punch and Judy, and he can run.
The Pirates have tied their game against the Cubs. They're in the bottom of the third. They've tied the game 1-1, and they have men on at first and third and only one out. So whereas the Cardinals are leading, the Pirates have tied it and threatened to take the lead as they play at home. Leadoff man Larry Lentz, a switch hitter, hitting .241. He's up there batting left-handed. The outfield will be straight away for him and shallow in left and in center. Bob Forsch in his first pitch of the night, and it's a strike call down around the knees. At the end of 3 innings at Pittsburgh, it is tied 1-1. The Cubs and the Pirates are 1-1 after 3. It'll be Lentz, Foley, and Davis here in the opening inning for the Expos. High to the batter, 1-1. Cardinals had a base hit by Sizemore, a walk to Smith on a 3-2 pitch, and a home run by Simmons. Now Larry Lentz swings and grounds it back to the mound. Forsch has it and flips it to Torrey for the out. One gone.
Good to keep him off the base, too, Jack. He has swiped 50 bases this year.
A 3-run lead puts Forsch, I'm sure, in a little different frame of mind than he would have been had the Cardinals not scored. The batter is Tim Foley. Right-handed hitting shortstop, hitting .253. Takes a strike call at the knees, and Forsch has been ahead of both hitters in this inning. And that ball has been down.
The wind might help him, Jack. He throws hard and that ball sinks. The curveball gave Rogers a lot of trouble. The wind blowing as hard as it is across the diamond would have a tendency to grip that curveball, but the sinker, it'll make it go down.
1-1 pitch to Foley, ground ball to third. Reach has it, a long throw, and he got him for the out. There are 2 men gone. Tough for those infielders to stay loose on a night like this, and I'm not exaggerating the situation. The temperature was 46 degrees here at game time. It will be dropping steadily. And, of course, the wind makes the chill factor quite instrumental here in this game. Willie Davis is up. Davis hitting .295 with 12 homers. Full hitter. They play him deep to the right. He takes ball 1 high.
Tried to find out the wind chill factor, Jack, and the Weather Bureau doesn't start till it gets down to 35 degrees.
Here it comes to Davis, a line drive into center. McBride is on the move, and he tracks that ball down for the out. And the Expos go down in order, and after 1, the Cardinals lead 3-0.
The Tigers are pitching Mickey Lolich against the Orioles in Detroit in an attempt to stop Baltimore's headlong rush toward the American League East title. The Orioles' 4-3 victory over Milwaukee on Sunday was their 6th straight and kept them a half a game ahead of the Yankees. The Yanks took out their frustrations on the Cleveland Indians 10-0. New York has Monday off. So no matter how the Yankees do in their final 2 games against Milwaukee's, the Orioles cannot be caught unless they lose 1 out of those 3 games to the Tigers. Pittsburgh manager Danny Murtaugh says there's no reason for a wake yet. His Pirates lost 7-2 to the New York Mets Sunday and dropped into a tie for the lead in the National League East. The Cardinals tied Pittsburgh by beating the Chicago Cubs 7-3. Each team has 3 games left. Starting Monday, the Pirates against the Cubs in Pittsburgh, and a game you're listening to right now with the Cardinals in Montreal against the Expos.
Let's check the other baseball. And it is a limited schedule. This is Monday, isn't it? On a Monday night. Baltimore at Detroit. The Yankees are not playing tonight. Grimsley pitching for Baltimore against Lolich and no score after 1. Cleveland at Boston. Jim Terry against Lee. Boston has been eliminated, you know. They're in the bottom of the third and no score in that one. Those are the only 2 American League games. So the Yankees, trailing by a half game in the East and a game out on the lost side, are not scheduled for this evening. After 3 innings at Pittsburgh, Cubs pitching bottom against Keeson. They're tied 1-1. Phillies didn't score in the first at New York. Christensen against Cousy. And Los Angeles is at Houston tonight. The Reds are not playing. The Dodgers, who have clinched a tie, could clinch the division behind Rao against Durker at Houston. Again, he reads, hits one to third. Parrish gets it on a bad hop and throws high and out at first base. Boy, he made a heck of a play. His second of the night. Larry Parrish had to back up on the ball. It took a bad hop to him. And then he made a high throw, and Jorgensen went high, caught the ball, came down on the base, and Kenny Reed's lack of running speed cost him a base hit that time.
So that young third baseman, Parrish, has taken 2 hits away from the Cardinals tonight. One from Torrey and now another from Reed.
The batter is Tyson, and he corks the ball foul past third. Steve Rogers is on the mound for Montreal. Cards made 3 runs on 2 hits in the opening inning. Tyson the batter. Forsch will be next. They have one of those electric heaters down in the Cardinal dugout this evening. Here's a strike as Tyson tried to bunt and missed. Strike 2. Cardinals won the toss here tonight. They received and went on and got 3 in the opening inning. Cool night in Montreal. Strike 2 on Tyson, ball 1 low. Crowd quiet because there's not much of a crowd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch to Tyson. Swing and a tap foul off to the left. We have perhaps 3,000 or 4,000 here tonight. There are less than 100 people in the bleachers beyond the left field fence. 1 man out here in the Cardinals' second inning. Pitch to Mike Tyson on the way and a swing and a miss. And Rogers gets his first strikeout of the night. 2 men out, Forsch the batter. Forsch takes off the jacket. And he walks to the plate with the bases empty and 2 out. I think Forsch had 2 jackets on.
He did, Jack. He had that plastic jacket, the warm-up jacket, and then the great big one. He took them both off.
3-0. The Cardinals lead here in the second inning of the game. Pitch to Forsch is inside. We've had some wild games in this ballpark. This place is a good deal like Wrigley Field, very conducive to free swinging affairs. 340 down the line and left and right, a very big center field. A swing and a miss by Forsch evens the count at 1-1. Expos have a couple of first-year men in their lineup, and we'll tell you about them as they come to the plate. The pitch to Forsch coming, swung on, popped up. Into short right field. The wind carries it way back to Singleton, and still on the move, he makes the catch for the out, and didn't the wind move that ball?
And he played it perfectly, Jack. He kept that ball on his right side, about 5 feet to his right, as he backpedaled to his left. He was not going to let that ball get by him. He played it very well.
That ball started out right over the head of the second baseman, and then it was caught toward the line by the right fielder, and the Cards go down in order. After an inning and a half, no score.
The Cardinals set an all-time club double play mark and swept into a tie in the National League East with that victory over the Cubs Sunday. The Cardinals beating the Cubs for the 13th time in 18 tries this season, and they put the game away in the 6th inning when pinch hitter Jose Cruz hit a 3-run homer. In other games on Sunday, New York tripped Pittsburgh 7-2. Montreal down Philadelphia 6-3. Cincinnati stopped San Francisco 7-3, and Houston beat Atlanta 9-6. The Dodgers and the Padres were not scheduled. Bob Apodaca pitched a 3-hitter for his first complete game in the major leagues and leading the Mets over the Pirates. In the American League, Boog Powell drew a 2-out bases-loaded walk to force in Paul Blair with a winning run in the 9th inning as the Orioles extended their winning streak to 6 with a 4-3 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers, and they remained in first place in the American League East. In other games, New York blanked Cleveland 10-0. Oakland edged Chicago 3-2. Detroit whipped Boston 7-4. California blanked Minnesota 4-0, and Texas shut out Kansas City 5-0. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
The batter is Mike Jorgensen leading off. Takes ball 1 high from Forsch. Jorgensen, left-handed hitting first baseman, hitting .306 with 10 homers. Pull hitter. Nobody on or out in the second. Here is a strike called as Forsch got a slider in there. Cardinal right-hander working hurriedly, throws over but low for a ball, ball 2. 2-1. Lynch, Foley, and Davis went down in order in the first. And it's Jorgensen, Singleton, and Jerry White in this inning. The pitch, swing, and a foul rolls into the Cardinal dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smith tucked into the right field corner. Jorgensen batting, takes it a foul on a half swing. It rolls back to the screen. Swinging very late at the ball, Jorgensen nicked it. The count remains 2-2. Here comes the pitch from the Cardinal right-hander Forsch. It's in the dirt. It's ball 3, a full count. They're in the fourth inning at Pittsburgh. Cubs batting. They're still tied 1-1. 3-2 pitch is low and a walk, and the Cardinals argue about it. Forsch and Simmons are really upset about the call, and ball 4 to Jorgensen. Simmons still talking to the plate umpire. A leadoff walk. Ken Singleton is the batter. A leadoff walk here in the second inning on a disputed call. Singleton digging in. Outfield deep around to the right. Here it comes. Singleton swings and grounds it to Sizemore. Good play to Tyson. Over to first, and they got them both. A dandy play by Sizemore with a backhand stop and a good give to Tyson.
They've done it all year, those two, Jack. That's number 189 on the double play situation. They set the club record on a big double play in Chicago to make it 188. And Sizemore turned a double play just like that one in Chicago. Way to his right, behind the bag, a little shovel, and they just keep turning him over.
The batter is Jerry White, the left fielder. Ball 1, a breaking ball, is in the dirt. White is a fellow who can really run. From Shirley, Massachusetts. The pitch to him is a ball low outside. White, a left-handed batter. Switch hitter, actually, batting left-handed. Takes a strike, and it's 2-1. White this year, playing at Memphis, batted .256 with 3 home runs. They play him to pull. He takes a strike on the outside corner. And it is 2-2. A leadoff walk, a double play. 2-2 on the batter. 3-0 Cardinals. We're in the home half of the second. Forsch delivers in a ground ball to first. Torrey has it, makes the play himself, and no hits against Forsch in 2 innings. And after 2, the Cardinals lead 3-0.
Okay, so a big game, obviously, for the St. Louis Cardinals as they are battling the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Baltimore Orioles also are in a pressure situation. Right now, the Orioles are leading the New York Yankees in the American League East by a half a game. That half a game is in the loss column. They both won 88. And Baltimore having a game against Detroit. No score after an inning. That game is at Detroit. But now in the top of the second, the Orioles have scored 5 runs. So Baltimore is now leading that game against Detroit by the score of 5-0. The Pittsburgh Pirates have scored in the bottom of the third inning, and the game with Chicago and Pittsburgh is now tied at 1-1, and that game is now in the bottom of the fourth inning. And that's just about it on as far as the National League. In the American League, Cleveland scored twice in the top of the fourth, and after 3.5, Cleveland is leading Boston by the score of 2-0.
We go into the Cardinal third inning here at Montreal. In the Redbird first. Single by Sizemore. A walk to Smith and a 3-run homer by Ted Simmons. And the Cardinals lead 3-0. Bob Forsch has allowed 1 runner in 2 innings, and that man erased on a double play. In the bottom of the fourth inning now. And the Cubs and the Pirates are still tied 1-1. Lou Brock's the leadoff man. And ball 1 from Steve Rogers, the right-hander. Brock bounced out to second his first time. Takes a curve over but low for a ball 2. Dave Carty, who is from St. Louis, lives near the Bevo Mill, is on hand here at Montreal. Other Cardinal fans are here. At the end of 4 innings at Pittsburgh, the Cubs and the Pirates are tied. Brock leading off, takes a strike, it's 2-1. Ran into a gentleman by the name of Buck from Savannah, Illinois, here tonight, rooting for the Redbirds. I think his first name is Larry. 2 balls and a strike to count. The pitch. Over but low to the leadoff man. 3-1. Cards lead 3-0. 3 runs on 2 hits in the opening inning. It'll be Brock, Sizemore, and Smith as Rogers goes to work. And it's a strike call. He caught the outside corner. Rogers blowing on his pitching hand. Here in this case, the umpires will allow the pitchers to put their hand to the mouth. Whereas on a warmer night, they would not. The pitch. Ball 4. Brock draws the walk. Second walk given by the Montreal right-hander. The fastball tailed away, and Brock is on base.
The second baseman.
Lewis Stolen, 118. I don't know if he can run into the wind or not. Jorgensen holds against him. Barry Foote is the catcher. The batter, Sizemore, who has been a big part of this game thus far. Got a base hit to start the rally. And then he started a double play. A lead by Brock. He's not going, and strike 1 is called. Montague, a right-hander, and Walker, a right-hander, start to warm up again for the Expos after the leadoff walk here in the 3rd. Off the stretch. A throw over there, and Brock gets back in time. The first one on the field to see a pitcher start to warm up in the bullpen is the pitcher on the mound. Brock takes his lead. Is not going, and our ball is inside. It's 1-1. Foote has had some success against Brock in the running department. Brock has stolen 8 out of 10 against this club, however. A leadoff walk here in the 3rd. He takes a short lead. Rogers checks him. The pitch coming and a swing and a ground foul down the 3rd base line. And Brock has shown no inclination to run. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Vern Benson coaching at 3rd. Johnny Lewis at 1st for the Redbirds. Cubs batting in the 5th at Pittsburgh, tied 1-1. Cardinals batting in the 3rd at Montreal, leading the Expos 3-0. Sizemore has to be swinging now. They pitch out, and Brock was not going. It's 2-2. Barry Foote dropped the ball. 2-2 the count. The infielders have shortened up a couple of steps. The outfielder onto the right. A check on the runner. Brock takes his lead. And he's going, and a ground ball towards short. Foley comes in, gets it, goes to first, throws him out, and Brock moves to second. Didn't run that time, and he had gotten a great jump off first, but Sizemore with a 2-2 count had to swing, and he did advance the runner.
The right fielder, Reggie Smith.
Jim Bayes just came in the booth. Left, bringing all the wind from Canada with him. And he said it's cold, and he left. The batter is Reggie Smith. He could add to the Cardinal lead, which is 3-0 here in the 3rd inning. Short lead by Brock. The pitch coming, and it's low inside, and Rogers is really struggling with his breaking ball tonight.
That wind is blowing so hard across the diamond that it's going to be very difficult to control that breaking ball from a right-hander.
They're in the bottom of the 5th inning now at Pittsburgh. Cubs and the Pirates 1-1. Here it's Brock at 2nd, 1 out. And the pitch to Reggie Smith. On the way. Outside, ball 2. Smith drew a walk and scored ahead of Simmons when Ted popped a homer in the opening inning. 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield playing Smith to pull as he's up there batting left-handed. Here comes the pitch. A let-up and a high fly ball to deep left. Left fielder goes back. White now has to come in, and he makes the catch for the out. Smith went the other way and flied to left, and that ball took some catching by the left fielder. When he hit it, he started back, and then he had to come in. Jerry White stayed right with it and caught it. The batter is Simmons, and they might walk him. Brock at 2nd, 2 gone. Simmons drilled a line drive, 3-run homer in the opening inning. They're going to pitch to Simmons. And the first one on the way. A low curve in the dirt. Brock's going for third base, and he is safe. His foot did not throw the ball. That'll be a wild pitch as Rogers threw the ball into the dirt. Foot partially blocked it, but it rolled away, and Brock scooted to third. He's there with 2 out. Simmons, who hit the 3-run homer in the first, could get another RBI or 2 right here. We're in the third. Cardinals leading 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Pittsburgh. Cubs and Pirates are 1-1. Brock down the line at third. The pitch is made. A curve is grounded foul down the first base line. Evens the count to Simmons. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only 2 games remain after tonight. In the regular season, that is. And by the way, tickets in all categories are still available for the playoffs daily at the box office at Busch Memorial Stadium. Rogers with a 1-1 pitch steps off the rubber now and gets back on. Time called by the umpire as Simmons was out and gets back in. He needs a 2-out hit to get Brock home. The pitch, swing and a ground ball over the pitcher's head to the second baseman Lentz. His throw is in time for the out, and the Cardinals leave the runner. Simmons bounced to Larry Lentz. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. We go into the bottom of the third. It'll be the bottom 3 in the Montreal batting order. Cards on top, 3-0.
Amiable Clyde King has had temporary contract. His manager, the Atlanta Braves that he had, has been extended through the 1976 season. The 50-year-old King has been named to succeed ousted Eddie Matthews at this season's All-Star break, with the understanding that his future in the job hinged on how the Braves fared the remainder of the season. And they fared pretty well since King, the manager at San Francisco in 1969 and in the early part of 1970, took over in late July. The Braves were 50-49 when the change was made, and they've played about .580 ball under King and locked up third place in the National League West for their highest finish since they beat out King's Giants to win the division in 1969. They have 2 games left in Atlanta against Cincinnati. According to Executive Vice President Eddie Robinson, his work speaks for himself, and he says, since Clyde took over, our team has played extremely well.
We're going to the Montreal third. They have no hits against Bob Forsch. The young right-hander will face Barry Foote, Larry Parrish, and the pitcher Steve Rogers, unless Montreal pinch hits, and they keep their pitchers warming in the bullpen, Walker and Montague. So what the first 2 do here, I imagine, will determine whether or not Rogers comes to the plate. Barry Foote is hitting .265, and the young catcher has 11 home runs.
Batting first, the catcher, number 9, Barry Foote.
Foote, a right-handed batter with power, but they play him around to the opposite field. Young man from North Carolina, fine young catcher. Bob Forsch goes to work. His first pitch, a swing and a miss at a sharp slider, and it is strike 1. Foote last year finished the season with the Expos. The pitch to him, a curve, and it's hit to third on 1 bounce to Reitz. Kenny has it and throws for the out. 1 gone. Foote hit 1 sharply to Reitz. 1 man gone in the Montreal third inning. And the batter is Larry Parrish.
Batting 8.
Parrish is hitting .212 thus far. Good-looking young man, big fella, 6'3", 190. He's from Winter Haven, Florida. That's the spring home of the Red Sox. This year at Quebec AA ball, he batted .284 with 13 home runs. Ball 1 to him. Baltimore has jumped out in front of Detroit. Here's a swing and a miss on a good fastball. After 2 at Detroit, and Earl Williams had a 3-run homer, Baltimore leads 5-0 behind Grimsley. They knocked out Lolich. Lemanchek is pitching. So is Forsch. It goes low. Ball 2, 2-1. So Baltimore leading 5-0 after 2 as they try to increase their lead to a full game over the idle Yankees. The pitch, curve, strike call. The let-up dropped in. 2-2. 1 man out here in the Montreal third. Larry Parrish at the plate. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Fastball low and a full count. Porsche has allowed 1 base runner thus far. Gave a walk in the second. A double play erased the man. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball, a broken back ground ball, left side, scooped up by Reitz, and he throws for the out on another good play by Kenny. Reitz went far to his left, took it away from Tyson. Had trouble getting the ball out of the glove, but kept his feet moving and was able to throw the man out. And Parrish did not show much running speed going down the line. There are 2 outs. Cleveland and Boston, 2-1 Cleveland in the bottom of the 5th. Jim Perry against Lee. No score, Philadelphia at New York. Christensen against Koosman. Here's the pitch to Rogers. He's batting for himself. Hits it foul past the first base bag. Dodgers didn't score on the first at Houston with Rao against Durker. And the Pirates are batting in the bottom of the 5th, tied 1-1 with the Cubs, Bonham and Keeson. Rogers can swing the bat. Here's the ball up and in. Now the bullpen activity ceases for Montreal. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 men out. Breaking ball fouled away, back to the screen, 1-2. I think the lower the thermometer drops, the higher my voice gets. 2 men out. Nobody on base. Here's the pitch. Curve inside, and it's 2-2. At the end of 5 innings at Pittsburgh, the Cubs and the Pirates are tied 1-1. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a foul. That went off the umpire's foot, and that hurt. Billy Williams calling the balls and strikes tonight. His umpiring mates are Davidson, Gorman, and Colossi. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Steve Rogers battling at the plate, swings and hits it to the right side, and it goes foul. A foul ball is fielded by Porsche. Now they say fair, and we're going to have an argument. Torrey stepped on the base. The one umpire called it foul, and the other one called it fair.
The home plate umpire, which is his call, Jack, on the inside of the base before it gets past first base, the home plate umpire has the duty of calling it fair or foul, and Billy Williams called it fair.
And the Expos did not argue about it. They occupied the third base dugout. They had a good look at it down the line. And that should prove again to Porsche, and he did a good job of not quitting on a ball. It looked like it was foul. He caught the ball, ran into foul territory, and gave an awkward flip to Torrey. And the Expos have no hits over 3 innings, and the Cardinals lead after 3-0.
Manager Bill Verdon of the pennant contending New York Yankees said Monday his big concern is winning the last 2 games of the season and not in penalizing 2 reserves who got into a hotel lobby scuffle in Milwaukee. Verdon says make light of it. He said the big thing is our series against Milwaukee. He says we've got to win them both and hope Baltimore loses one. That's according to Bill Verdon, who has the Yankees bidding for a pennant for the first time in about 10 years. The Yankees, who hired Verdon as a second choice when they couldn't get Dick Williams, trailed Baltimore by a half a game after weekend action. Baltimore has 3 games left, beginning Monday night at Detroit. The scuffle occurred Sunday night between reserve catcher Rick Dempsey and utility man Bill Sudeikis in the lobby of the Pfister Hotel after the Yankee plane from Cleveland was delayed 3 hours. It began as innocent needling, but then it got out of hand. The players rolled to the floor, scuffled before teammates, separated, and police were called, but no charges were filed. According to Verdon, he says, I'm not too concerned about it. He said it was one of those things. He said, these guys have been together for 180 days, and one fight in that time isn't bad. He says, I don't think we'll have any effect on the team. Sometimes these things even help.
Torrey leads it off here, takes a curveball right in there, calls strike. You're going to have a whole day of fun for one low price at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. Torrey leads it off. He grounded out his first trip. Takes the next delivery inside, a fastball from Steve Rogers. It evens the count 1-1. We're in the 4th. Cardinals lead it 3-0. Play Torrey straight away in the outfield. They're deep. As Steve Rogers winds and fires. Torrey smacks it foul right back here. No way I'm going to catch a foul ball tonight. 46 degrees at game time with the wind whipping at a 20-mile-an-hour pace. As Steve Rogers comes home with a 1-2 delivery, Torrey swings and misses. He struck him out on a good fastball that sank low and in. Strikeout number 2 for Rogers. He struggled in the first inning when he gave up a base hit, a walk, and then a 3-run homer to Simmons. Set the Cardinals down in order in the second. He walked Brock to lead off the third, but then set down Sizemore, Smith, and Simmons. Retires Torrey on strikes as Bake McBride stands in. Third baseman way in as Rogers brings it home. McBride, ground ball up the middle, and it's going to be by the shortstop. He gets it, but as he throws, it's too late. It's an infield single. Foley went to his left behind the bag, fielded the ball on a nice play, but McBride's good speed, he had no chance. He threw, but Baker had already crossed that bag. So the Callaway kid is on with a one-out single, and Reach stands in. Cardinals have employed the hit and run very often with these two. Recently, they were successful in the Chicago series. From the belt, Rogers checks on McBride, and now he steps off. As he fakes the throw to first base, he stepped off and then faked over there. McBride on the year has stolen 28 bases. He has a big lead. Rogers checks him, throws over there, and a dive back in by McBride. He's safe. Rogers has a pretty good move to first base. He made it close. Reach grounded to third his first trip. They play him to hit the ball into right. They have a big gap in left center. Rogers throws to first base again, and McBride is back safely as the first baseman, Jorgensen, put the tag on him. Patch Davison is the first base umpire. Tom Gorman, the crew chief, takes care of second base. Nick Colossi is the third base umpire. Billy Williams works behind the plate. Rogers pitches. It's a pitch out. Nothing doing. McBride made no attempt to steal. Ball 1 to Ken Reitz. So the Expos are aware of the hit and run with this Cornella. McBride on at first. Reitz at the plate. Rogers checks on the runner. He's going. The pitch is a strike call. The throw to second, and McBride is out. And he's going to complain about it. A nice throw by the catcher. Foot was right on the base, and the glove of Foley put the tag on the foot of Bake McBride. He's out stealing. Pitch was a strike to Ken Reitz, and it's 1-1 on the Cardinal right-handed hitting third baseman. McBride seemed to get in there with his foot, but he didn't get the call. High curveball is fouled off by Reitz as he was out in front a bit. And now Kenny's in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 down. We're in the fourth. Cardinals lead it 3-0. They're in the sixth. At Pittsburgh. Tied 1-1. The Cubs and the Buccos. Rogers winds, fires, Reach. A little tap to the third baseman. Bad hop. Parrish grabs it. Long throw. He has a good arm, that kid. And he gets Reach. Redbirds fail to score here in the fourth inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man out stealing, nobody left. And as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, Cardinals 3, Montreal nothing.
Getting back to Bill Verdon, the manager of the pennant-contending New York Yankees, he said he's going to use Doc Medich and Pat Dobson against Milwaukee's Kevin Coble and Jim Colburn. Verdon, he said Milwaukee's given us problems, and we expect a tough series. Coble, a rookie left-hander, has beaten New York 3 times. Colburn, a 20-game winner a year ago, has been troubled with injuries, but in his last start pitched 13 innings in a 17-inning 1-0 loss at Baltimore. Verdon got only a 1-year contract when the Yankees failed in their bid to hire Williams after he resigned as the Oakland manager following his team's World Series win over the New York Mets.
Over at Pittsburgh, they're in the bottom of the sixth now with the Pirates batting, tied 1-1. Pirates scored on the throwing error by Pete Lecoq. Cub first baseman, as Bill Bonham has given up only 1 hit to Pittsburgh. They're batting in the bottom of the sixth. Tied 1-1. Bruce Keeson, the Pirate right-hander, has given up only 3 hits, so they have a pitching duel. Tied bottom of the sixth, 1-1. Here we go into the bottom of the fourth, and the Redbirds lead the Expos 3-0. Forsch has not allowed anyone to reach base but one. That man on a walk was erased in a double play. Lynch leads it off here in the fourth, and he takes a strike. Barry Lynch, second baseman, has great speed. He has swiped 50 bases this year. The pitch to him with reach way in is a fastball. Over but low, 1-1. Reach is way in as a left-handed batter. Lynch takes a curveball of beauty from Bob Forsch. Strike called inside, corner at the knees, 1-2. Next one is a little tap back to the mound. Forsch has it over to Torrey, and that takes care of Lynch, leading off the fourth. One down. That's twice Larry Lynch has tapped back to the mound.
Ready to the shortstop. Dick Foley.
With one out at Pittsburgh, Al Oliver has doubled. He's down at second base, and Willie Stargell stands in. That's at Pittsburgh. They're tied 1-1. Foley for the Expos takes a fastball too high, ball one. They play Foley to hit the ball the other way. He's a right-handed batter, and they play over into right field. That's Forsch. Winds and brings it in. Fastball misses, 2-0. Reaches even with the bag at third. Everybody else shades just a step towards the right side of the diamond, and here's the 2-0. Foley takes it up beauty right down the middle. A called strike. 2-1. Nobody on, one out here in the Montreal fourth as Foley takes a breaking ball, a slider low, 3-1. Delivery. Foley jumps back from ball four, so he becomes a base runner, the second walk, second base runner. Foley with one out here in the fourth. And that brings up Willie Davis. Davis, a 295 average, 12 homers, 88 RBIs. Davis is a left-handed batter. Long time with the Dodgers. Chokes the bat just a bit. Pitch to him, popped up on the infield. Reach goes back. Now the shortstop, Tyson, calls for it, and he does get it. 2 down. Tyson called off Reach, and he handled the pop fly off the bat of Willie Davis for the second out. Jorgensen stands in. Stargell has just fanned. And now Oliver is at second base with 2 down, and Dave Parker stands in. That's at Pittsburgh. Here, Jorgensen. Line drive along with way into center field. McBride turns the wrong way. Now he comes over and he catches the ball. He turned the wrong way, and Bake finally recovered, caught it around the knees, and had it securely in the glove. He looked to the heavens to say, oh, thank you. He forgot about that wind, but he recovered in time to handle a tough line shot off the bat of Jorgensen, and that takes care of the Pirates here in the fourth. No runs. No hits, no errors, a walk, a man left. First one they've stranded after 4 innings from Montreal. Cardinals over the Expos, 3-0.
The Pittsburgh Pirates have a couple of candidates for the National League's MVP award. One of them is Al Oliver. He's played a key role in making the Pirates a contender again. True, Willie Stargell has blasted the home runs, and Richie Zisk has had many game-winning hits. But it has been Oliver who has done the consistent day-in, day-out hitting that's carried the Pirates out of the pack in the National League East. He's hitting .320 and has driven in 85 runs. Excellent statistics. But equally important is his consistency. Barely a game goes by that he doesn't get at least one hit. In fact, Oliver has not gone more than 2 games in a row this season without hitting safely. He has had 2 of the National League's longest hitting streaks this season, the first for 23 games and the second for 21. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
At 790 and 1420... this is American Forces Radio.
SCN 2000.
At the end of 6 full innings in the ball game at Pittsburgh, the Cubs and the Pirates are tied 1-1. Here, the Cardinals lead 3-0, 5th inning, and ball 1 to Mike Tyson. Swinging a ground ball to short. Foley has it, scoops it up, and throws for the out. Tyson has struck out his first time, grounds out here in the 5th. And the batter is Bob Forsch. He flied to right his first time. He's wearing 2 jackets, one a windbreaker, the other a heavy Cardinal jacket. And he bats with 1 man out. Brock will follow him. We're in the 5th inning. The Cardinals have the only hits. They've made 3 runs on 3 hits. And the Expos no runs on no hits after 4. Tyson out, short to first to start the inning. The pitch to Forsch, and he tried to bunt, and he missed. The other baseball, Detroit has bounced back with a couple of runs. Baltimore is still leading as they attempt to increase their lead. Here's the pitch to Forsch, swinging a foul. Detroit got 2, and after 3, they trail Baltimore 6-2. Grimsley is on the mound against Lemanchek in relief of Lolich and Earl Williams a home run. In the 6th at Boston, Cleveland leads 2-1. Forsch hits a curve into left, a base hit. Rogers hung a curveball, and Forsch gets a 1-out single for the 4th Cardinal hit of the night. Comes here in the 5th inning. And now he puts on a jacket. Brock is the batter. He grounded out, walked, was left on. Outfield will play Brock about straight away. Steve Rogers on the mound. He's lost 21 games this year. He's 15-21. 2-3 against the Cardinals this season. He's had a busy year. 36 decisions. Here's a tap foul by Brock. Ball rolling off to the right. Rogers, the Expo right-hander, has pitched 247 innings, the most on their ball club. He checks the runner. Pitches to Brock, way outside, and he almost threw it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. In case you weren't with us in the opening inning, Sizemore single with 1 out. Reggie Smith drew a walk. And Ted Simmons pounded a homer over the right field fence. It's 3-0, and we're in the 5th inning now. And the pitch to Brock. High for a ball, ball 2, 2-1. We'll play here again tomorrow night. Mike Therese will pitch against Bob Gibson. Be on the air at the same time, 6:50, 6:50 St. Louis time, with a dugout show. The pitch to Brock. Low inside. Ball 3, 3-1. Jorgensen at first is playing behind the runner, Forsch. Cardinals have scored 3 times, lost a runner stealing, and stranded 1 in the first 4 innings. 3-1 pitch to Lou Brock on the way. Swing and a foul, 3-2. And back into the left. They're 1-1 at New York in the bottom of the 5th, where the Phillies are playing. An important game as far as Montreal is concerned. Christensen against Kuzman. Montreal and the Phillies are tied for 3rd place. Cubs batting in the 7th at Pittsburgh, tied 1-1. I was going to say leading 1-1. 3-2 pitch to Brock. Coming, the runner going. Strike call. There's the throw, and Forsch steals the base. Foley tried to calm the umpire. He doesn't argue about the call. Brock is called out on strikes, and he doesn't argue either. A fastball over the outside corner, and that's for Rogers, is his 3rd strikeout of the night. And Bob Forsch stole the base. And he's on at second with 2 men out, and the batter is Sizemore. It's going to take a pretty good base knock by Sizemore to get Forsch home. The way the outfielders are playing, they're very shallow and around to the right. Sizemore has singled and scored and grounded to short. And the pitch to him. Low, ball 1, blocked by Foot. Well, the second base umpire, Tom Gorman, did not give it the automatic call down there. He was bearing down on the play, called force safe at second. Foley started to run off the diamond. Gorman said you can run away if you want, but he's safe. Here's the pitch to Sizemore. Over but low for a ball. He'd like to get a hit and drive in this run or get on base and bring up Smith. And the Cubs did not score in the seventh. The Pirates are batting and they're tied 1-1 in the bottom of the inning. Outfield to the right for Sizemore. He's hitting with 2 out on a 2-0 count. He takes a strike at the knee. Fifth inning, 3-0 Cardinals. Off the stretch, Steve Rogers. Force at second, 2 out, the pitch. Swing and a foul. Sizemore tried to go to right. He fouled the ball away. It's 2-2. Rogers has walked 2, fanned 3, and allowed 4 hits. Two and 2 the count to Ted. Force takes his lead. Rogers gets ready. And he pitches. And a foul back here into the seats. Only about 4,000 on hand tonight, if that many. On a cool evening in Montreal. Only 2 games left to play after tonight. 2-2 pitch. And Sizemore swings and strikes out. A foul tip, and the catcher held it. Sizemore goes down swinging. So both Brock and Sizemore struck out in the inning. A total of 4 for Rogers. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Cards have left 2. Singleton will lead it off for Montreal. Going into their 5th inning, the Cards are on top by the score of 3-0.
Pittsburgh and Chicago are now in the bottom of the 7th inning at Pittsburgh, and that game is still tied at 1-1. A very important ball game for Pittsburgh as they battle the Cardinals for first place in the National League East. In the National League West battle, the Los Angeles Dodgers need to win just 1 more game, and they'll clinch there. They have clinched at least a tie right now. There's no score between the Dodgers and the Astros after 2 innings at the Astrodome. In the American League, Cleveland is playing at Boston, and that ball game is now in the top of the 7th, and Cleveland is leading it by the score of 2-1. And that's just about it as far as the Major League Baseball scoreboard. There are only 6 games on the schedule for this Monday night, and that's just about the way the situation looks. Jim Perry pitching for Cleveland against Lee of Boston in that game. Grimsley against Lolich for the Baltimore-Detroit game. Lemancic is now pitching for Detroit, and now we see that Holdsworth is now in that ball game. Baltimore leads at 5-0 after 2.
In the 5th inning for Montreal, Ken Singleton will be their leadoff man. Cards on top, 3-0. Over at Pittsburgh, the Pirates are batting in the 7th, tied with the Cubs, 1-1. Bonham and Keeson going at it in that one. Here the Cards have out-hit Montreal 4-0. Bob Force has allowed 2 runners, both on walks. One was erased in a double play. The other man was left on. Singleton will be followed by Jerry White and then Barry Foote.
The lucky go of the walk. The right fielder.
Singleton, a switch hitter batting left-handed, hit into a double play his first time. Dale Murray, a right-hander starter. Tom Walker starts to warm up for Montreal. 3-0 Cardinals as the Expos bat in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swung on a long fly ball to left. Way back is Brock. Playing the wind. He's got it for the out. Singleton hammered the ball deep to the opposite field on the first pitch by Ford.
The lucky go of the left fielder. Jerry White.
In the bottom of the 7th at Pittsburgh, they have Sanguin at second, 1 out. And Richie Zisk is batting for the Pirates. Singleton has just flied out. The batter is Jerry White. Switch hitter grounds the ball to the right side. Torrey gets it. Over to Force for the out. Force bounced off the mound, took the throw from Torrey. 2 pitches, 2 men out here in the Montreal fifth. The batter is the catcher, Barry Foote. He was thrown out by Reitz his first time up. Well, the Expos have not managed to hit off the Cardinal pitcher as yet. 2 quick outs. The Cardinals lead 3-0. The outfielder on to the right for Foote. Here it comes, and it's a strike call. Force gets ahead. Parrish is on deck, the rookie third baseman of the Expos. There are 2 men out in the inning, and Force delivers. Strike call at the knees, strike 2. Well, he's made 4 pitches, has 2 out and 2 strikes on the batter. The Pirates have taken the lead in the 7th inning. Here's a ball to the hitter. Richie Zisk came off the bench and tripled and put the Pirates on top 2-1 in the 7th. Next delivery coming. And it's outside. The Cards thought they had him struck out. It's 2-2. Two men out here in the Montreal fifth. Force delivers. Breaking ball grounded to short. Tyson has it, comes up throwing for the out, and the Expos are down in order, and they have no hits after 5 innings. So at the end of 5, here at Joy Park in Montreal, it's the Cardinals 3 and the Expos 7.
In case you missed it, here's what happened in Major League Baseball on Sunday. In the National League, St. Louis shut out Chicago 7-0. It was New York 7, Pittsburgh 2, Montreal 6, Philadelphia 3, and Cincinnati beat San Francisco 7-3, while Houston knocked off Atlanta by the score of 9-6. In the American League on Sunday, Detroit 7, Boston 4, New York 10, Cleveland 0, Oakland 3, Chicago 2, Baltimore 4, Milwaukee 3, Texas 5, Kansas City 0, and California beat Minnesota by the score of 4-0. So the race in the National League East, Pittsburgh and St. Louis dead even at 85 wins and 74 losses. Philadelphia and Montreal are dead even at 78 and 81, 7 games back. New York is 70 and 89, 15 out, and the Cubs trail by 19. In the West, the Dodgers are 159. The Dodgers will be the only team this year to win at least 100 ball games, and Cincinnati is 2.5 out at 98 and 62. I should correct that because the Reds have a shot at 100. Atlanta is 86 and 74, trailing by 14.5. Houston is 20 games out, 80 and 79. San Francisco 29.5 out, and San Diego trails by 41.5.
Here we go to the 6th inning of the game. Here we go to the 6th inning. Cardinals leading 3-0. After 7 now at Pittsburgh. The Pirates lead 2-1. They try to squeeze play, and they hit into a double play. Here is Smith lining one right to the second baseman, Larry Lynch, for the out. Smith, who had walked and flied out previously, swings on the first one from Steve Rogers here in the 6th inning of this game, and lined the ball very hard to the second baseman, Larry Lynch. And Simmons is up. He popped the 3-run homer in the first, the only scoring in this game, and then grounded out to second base. Here comes the pitch to Ted. High and away a ball. Rogers has gone to his fastball a good deal more than he was using it in the early part of the game. Smith, Simmons, and Torrey in this inning. Smith has been retired. Ball 2 to Simmons. So the Cubs are now batting in the 8th and trailing Pittsburgh by the score of 2-1. Richie Zisk with a pinch triple over the head of the center fielder Monday. 2-0 to Simmons. And a let-up is in there. A straight change and a called strike. 2-1 to Simmons, batting with 1 man out. Rogers kicks and fires, and a swing and a foul lined up against the railing off to the right. Evens the count at 2-2. One out. The base is empty. Gibson will be opposed by Torres tomorrow. The pitch. Low into the dirt. And then Renko will find himself matched with McLaughlin as we play the final regular season game on Wednesday night. 3-0 Cardinals here in the 6th inning. One out, 3-2 pitch. Simmons strikes out swinging. Simmons becomes the 5th strikeout victim. And there are 2 quick outs in the Cardinal inning. Joe Torre is 0 for 2. He grounded to third and struck out. The outfield straightens up with Torre at the plate, and a let-up goes low, ball 1. In the 1st inning, Sizemore singled, Smith drew a walk, and Simmons homered. And Force has blanked Montreal on no hits over the first 5 innings. Fastball grounded sharply to short. Foley has it. His throw is in time for the out. Torre hit the ball hard but out. The Cards go down in order in the 6th inning. Montreal will send up the bottom 2 in the batting order. They might pinch it for Steve Rogers. Going into the Montreal 6th inning, the Cards are on top 3-0.
The Pittsburgh Pirates have 2 candidates for the National League MVP award. One of them is Al Oliver, who has been doing just a tremendous job. He's not the power hitter, but he's been hitting consistently day in and day out. He has 2 of the longest hitting streaks in the National League this year. He had one of 23 games and another of 21. However, Oliver has never really received the recognition a lot of the people feel he deserves. For one thing, he's played on Pirate teams which have included Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell. Clemente, because of his greatness, always seemed to be in the spotlight, and when he wasn't, Stargell was. And because he's a home run hitter, and they always make news, of course. For another thing, Oliver acquired the reputation for being a sorehead. At first, a couple of years ago, he complained that he wasn't playing regularly. Earlier this year, he said he didn't like the idea of alternating between first base and center field.
The Montreal 6th inning, the leadoff man will be Larry Parrish, the rookie third baseman. Grounded to third his first time. Tom Walker, a right-hander, warms up in the bullpen. Steve Rogers is due to bat second. They might pinch hit for him. Folks from Colchester, Vermont are here rooting for the Cardinals. Moved from St. Joseph, Illinois, Ken and Kay Douglas.
The first baseman.
No hits off Force thus far as he works in the 6th inning. He's struck out none, walked 2. And the Cardinals lead 3-0 as Montreal bats. We'll check on the Cubs in a moment for you. Here's the pitch. Curveball is chopped foul off to the left. The leadoff man is Larry Parrish, P-A-R-R-I-S-H.
Kid looks like he's going to be a good cripple hitter, Jack. It's like if you make a mistake on him, he'll hit the ball hard somewhere.
Big, strong right-handed batter takes the ball low, 1-1. Cardinals lead 3-0. The pitch to the leadoff man, and it's low. 2 balls and a strike. Parrish at Quebec batted .284. It's only his 3rd year in pro baseball. He's from Winter Haven, Florida. He swings and hits one back to the pitcher. Force has it, runs toward first, gives it to Torre, and there's 1 man out. Larry Parrish is retired, and the Expos have put their leadoff man on base only 1 time in 6 innings. And now Larry Bittner, B-I-T-T-N-E-R, Bittner, who batted .323 at Memphis and has been up with the Expos a good part of the year, is going to bat for Rogers.
Number 17.
And Tom Walker will be their new pitcher in the 7th inning. Bittner is batting .292, no home runs, 3 RBIs. And he's a switch hitter up there batting left-handed. 3-0, the Cardinals leading here in the 6th. Outfield to the right for Bittner. He swings and lines it into left. Brock is there, struggles, makes the catch for the out. There is no easy chance for anybody tonight out in that playing field. Bittner, a left-handed batter, lined into the left, and Brock had to sink down to his knees to catch that ball. There are 2 men out, and the batter is Larry Lentz. Twice he has hit the ball back to the mound. Larry Lentz, he's the switch hitter, batting left-handed. Takes a bunt and takes a strike. Now they're in the bottom of the 8th at Pittsburgh. Pirates lead 2-1. Lentz takes the ball low, so the Cubs will have only one more crack at Bruce Keeson. Rogers out of the game now. 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits, struck out 5, walked 2. Force delivers low to Larry Lentz, 2 balls and a strike. There are 2 quick outs here in the 6th. Ball 3 goes low, 3-1. Parrish hit back to the mound. Bittner lined out. Lentz will probably take one. Strike called, 3-2. A full count. The on-deck hitter is Foley. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball to second. Sizemore has it, comes up throwing, gets him, and down in order go the Expos, who still have no hits in the game. And after 6 full innings, the Cardinals lead Montreal 3-0.
Taking a look at the scoreboard, after 7, Cleveland leads Boston 2-1. Jim Perry started for Cleveland. Buskey is now pitching. Lee continues to throw for Boston. The Baltimore Orioles, making no mistake about it and leaving no doubt in anybody's mind that they intend to give it a battle for the American League East, are crushing Detroit 9-2 as Detroit hits in the bottom of the 5th. The Orioles scored 5 in the 2nd, 2 of those runs coming on Williams' 14th home run for the Orioles. They scored 1 more in the 3rd and 3 more in the 4th. 9-2 Baltimore after 4.5. Grimsley for the Orioles, Lolich, Lemancic, and now Holdsworth for Detroit. Elsewhere in the National League, Philadelphia did not score in the top of the 1st against the Mets. Christensen against Kuzman, and the Dodgers and the Houston Astros are scoreless after 3. Rao pitching against Sturker.
They're in the bottom of the 8th inning at Pittsburgh, and the Pirates leading the Cubs 2-1.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pirates scored an unearned run.
Now pitching
A throwing error by Pete Lecoq.
number 20.
After the Cubs had scored a run in the opening inning. And then Pittsburgh took the lead with Richie Ziff getting the RBI in the 7th. Now they're in the bottom of the 8th, so the Cubs have only one more chance. Tom Walker takes over the pitching duties.
Center fielder,
And another right-hander starts to warm up for the Expos. And Walker is in relief of Rogers, who pitched 6 innings, gave 3 runs, 4 hits, struck out 5, walked 2, and Bake McBride leads off in the 7th inning. DeMola, a right-hander, is warming up now. So it's Tom Walker on the hill. First pitch to McBride. Strike, a breaking ball over the outside corner. Bake grounded to second, single was out stealing. He'll be followed by Reitz and Tyson here in the Cardinals 7th. Walker, the right-hander, pitches, and a swing and a foul, rolling back to the right. A ball outside to McBride. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Walker on the hill. He's won 4, lost 5. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2-2. They're in the 9th inning at Pittsburgh with the Cubs batting and trailing 2-1. Jerry Morales leading off in that game in the 9th inning. So we'll tell you what the Cubs do in the ninth. Here is the pitch popped up by McBride. The shortstop calls for it. The wind moves the ball. Foley has it for the out. And there's one man gone. We'll stay right with the Cubs in the top of the ninth inning and give you the outcome of that game. The batter is Ken Reitz. Kenny has been thrown out by the third baseman twice. Morales is retired. There's one out in the ninth inning with the Cubs trailing 2-1. Here's a foul by Reitz, strike one. Here we're in the seventh inning. The Cardinals lead 3-0. Montreal has no hits against Bob Force. The Cardinals have made 3 runs on 4 hits. The outfield to the right, the pitch on the way. It's outside. Pete Lecoq is the batter for the Cubs now. Next delivery. Reitz pops it up. It's a foul ball, and Foote stays with it. Right at the grandstand, he dropped it. He dropped it as the wind played havoc with him. And Reitz is still alive with a 1-2 count. Look, Pete Lecoq has been retired. Stennett threw him out, and there are 2 men gone in the ninth inning for the Cubs, and Steve Swisher is their batter. 2 men out in the ninth inning. Over at Pittsburgh. Reitz is 0 for 2, still at the plate with a 1-2 count. Walker pitches, and it's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Walker, in relief of Rogers, goes to work again. Strike call at the knees. Reitz complains about it to the plate umpire, Billy Williams. But there are 2 out. The Pirates won the game by the score of 2-1 over the Cubs. A 3-hitter by Keeson. And the Pirates won the game 2-1. There are 2 men out here. The high pop fly on the infield should be an easy inning for Walker. Foley, the shortstop at the mound, has it for the out to retire the side. The Cards go down in order. And it's 7th inning stretch time. Foley, Davis, and Jorgensen coming up for Montreal. Pittsburgh beats Chicago 2-1, and here the Cardinals lead 3-0.
Ralph Carr of Atlanta and Rod Carew of Minnesota are the Major League batting champions. Carr with a .351 average with 209 hits in 596 trips, and nobody else is even close in either league, actually. Oliver of Pittsburgh, Buckner of Los Angeles, both hitting .318. Madlock of Chicago at .313. Garvey of Los Angeles at .312. Ziska of Pittsburgh at .312. Gross of Houston at .311. A couple of hitters at .310. McBride and Smith of St. Louis. Brock and Stodgel of St. Louis both hitting .307. So they're slugging it out for individual positions below number 1. Same story in the American League, where Rod Carew is hitting .364 with 216 hits in 594 times at bat. George Orta of Chicago way down the line at .319. He'll wind up in second place. McRae of Kansas City is hitting .308. Pinnell of New York at .306. Maddox of New York is hitting .304. Randall of Texas hitting .303. Burroughs of Texas, Yastrzemski of Boston, and Allen of Chicago hitting .301. Henderson hitting .295.
Pirates won at 2-1. Keeson the winner, 9-8. Bonham the loser, 11-22. On an earned run. And then an RBI triple by Zisk in the 7th inning, and the Pirates have won the game. Philadelphia, New York are 1-1 in the 6th. Christensen against Kuzman. The Dodgers trying to clinch it tonight with Cincinnati idle. No score in the 3rd at Houston with Rao against Durker. In the American League, Baltimore is winning handily, 9-2 after 5 behind Grimsley. Knocked out Woolwich. Williams had a home run. After 7 at Boston, Cleveland leads 2-1. It's Buskey in relief of Jim Perry against Lee. Tim Foley leads off. Ball 1 is low outside. Expos have had no hits, 2 base runners, both on walks. Foley is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he takes ball 2 low. Foley, Davis, and Jorgensen in the inning. A small crowd trying to root the Expos on. Here's the pitch, strike call. They really make some racket. They try to harass the pitcher. Boo the umpire. Porsche on the windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Cardinals on top 3-0 on the Ted Simmons homer in the first. Outfield to the right for Foley. One of only 2 base runners the Expos have had. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball to short. Tyson charges it, gets it, and throws, and he's out. That's 9 in a row retired by the Cardinal pitcher. Rich Folkers is probably unavailable to the Cardinals tonight with that back injury. That could be meaningful in this series because he's pitched well against this club. The batter is Willie Davis. And Porsche going to tie his shoelace, so we'll pause for identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
You're listening to the voice of information for the American Forces at 790 and 1420.
Coming to Willie Davis, a high pop fly into short left. Lou Brock playing the wind, gets under it, waits and has it. There are 2 out, and the Expos still have no hits. Against the Cardinal rookie right-hander Bob Porsche. Mike, no matter what happens in this game, and especially after Porsche was touched for 5 in the opening inning against the Pirates his last time out, you have to admire what he's accomplished.
They like to get a starter in through the 7th inning, especially if you have a good bullpen like the Cardinals do. So whatever happens from here on out, Jack, he's done a fine job, but let's let him just keep going like he is for 7 more.
The batter, Jorgensen, the first pitch a ball, the next pitch is high ball 2. Jorgensen has been one of the 2 base runners the Expos have had. He walked in the second, flied out in the 4th. A left-handed batter, a pull hitter. Porsche has to throw a strike here. Line drive into right field, and the ball is a base hit. Smith can't play it. It goes into the corner. Jorgensen will get a 2-out double, and that's the first Montreal hit of the inning. With a count of 2-0, he just took his chances and laid the ball in there.
Well, that's what he had to do, Jack. He can't worry about the no-hitter. He has to win this ball game. The Pirates have posted a win in Pittsburgh against the Cubs, and that's what Porsche wants. He wants a W behind his name when you pick up the box score tomorrow to keep the Cardinals and the Pirates all tied in this Eastern Division race.
With 2 men out, Jorgensen is doubled, and the batter is Singleton. He's grounded into a double play and flied out. Switch hitter batting left. Ball 1. 3-0 the Cardinals lead here in the 7th. In the outfield playing Singleton to pull the ball. Porsche delivers. Swing and a line drive to the left. Here comes Brock, and he drops it. The run comes in to score. Singleton stops at first base, and the tying run will come to the plate. Brock could have caught the ball, but didn't. It was down around the shoe tops. They might give Brock an error on that play, but they give a base hit to Singleton. It was thinking line drive, and Brock got a glove on it, Mike.
Yeah, he made a good try after Jack. It was a very tough chance for him. A thinking line drive in around his ankles. Got a glove on it, but he just couldn't hold on enough. Orny Schultz comes out of the dugout many times when a guy has a no-hitter going. After that first hit, things break loose. Brock got a glove on it. He couldn't hold on, and it's now 3-1, and the tying run will come to the plate with Singleton on at first base. 2 down. The Expos may go to a pinch hitter. They are. It's going to be Ron Fairley, the left-handed hitter. He'll be a pinch hitter. They're going to lift the rookie, Jerry White. They're going to go to the veteran, the left-handed hitter in this situation. Fairley will come off the bench, and he'll pinch hit. Fairley on the year, a .249 average, 12 home runs, 43 RBI.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Barney Schultz went to the mound to talk to the pitcher. Garman and Rabowski are warming up in the bullpen. The Cubs have scored a run on a 2-out double by Jorgensen and an RBI single off the glove of Brock in left field, making it 3-1. Expos have 2 hits, both in this inning, and their batter is Ron Fairley, a left-handed hitter. We're in the 7th. Cardinals lead by the score of 3-1. Singleton is on at first base. Torrey is playing behind him. And Porsche has to pitch to Ron Fairley with 2 out. It's ball 1 high. Small crowd making a lot of racket. Brock could have kept that run from scoring, but couldn't hang on to the ball. Here is the pitch. Fairley swings, grounds it to short. Tyson gets it, steps on second, and the Cardinals have a 2-run lead. Fairley forces the runner. Tyson unassisted. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. Montreal is stranded 2. And after 7 full innings, the Cardinals lead 3-1.
Mike Schmidt of Philadelphia leads the National League in home runs with 36. He's also the Major League leader. Johnny Bench of Cincinnati with 33. Wynn of Los Angeles with 32. Perez of Cincinnati with 28. And Cedeno of Houston with 26. Allen of Chicago leads the American League with 32. Jackson of Oakland with 29. Tennis of Oakland has hit 26. Darwin of Minnesota and Burroughs of Texas have hit 25. The RBI leader in the National League, as well as the majors, is Johnny Bench of Cincinnati with 129. Schmidt of Philadelphia has 116. Garvey of Los Angeles with 110. Wynn of Los Angeles with 108. And Perez of Cincinnati with 101. Jeff Burroughs of Texas is the American League RBI leader with 118. Bando of Oakland has 103. Rudy of Oakland with 97. Lou Brock of St. Louis with 117 stolen bases. That's a Major League record. Morgan of Cincinnati is next with 58.
8th inning rolls around. Cardinals on top of the Expos. 3-1. Redbirds have out hit the Expos 4-2. No errors in this ball game. Tom Walker prepares to work the 8th inning for the Expos. He'll have Bob Force, Lou Brock, and Ted Sizemore to dual battle with. Force on the evening is 1 for 2. He singled, stole a base. In the 5th inning, he was stranded. Throws right, he bats the same. Play him straight away in the outfield, shade just a little bit to right field. Line drive, base hit into left field. Fairley now in left field. Gets it on 1 hop. And Forrest has his 2nd hit of the evening. A leadoff single as Walker hung a breaking ball. The Cardinal rookie, Bob Forrest, ripped it into left field. A leadoff single. And now Brock will stand in. Well, Bob Forrest has done some job this evening. Giving the Expos only 1 run on 2 hits. Had a no-hitter through 6 2/3 innings. Gave up a double and then an RBI single. Then he's banged out 2 hits, a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. Brock walks in, moves some of the dirt around the batter's box as he prepares to hit. Lou is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out, he's struck out. First pitch to Lou, breaking ball, ground ball to the second baseman. Lynch kicks it. He has no play. Now he throws the first and everybody is safe. Larry Lynch, the second baseman, booted the ball, and Brock reaches on the air. A little hopper could have been a double play, but Lynch booted it. Force got in safely to second base, and Brock was safe at first before the throw after the boot by the second baseman, Larry Lynch. And now the Expos are in a jam. Third baseman Parrish goes to the mound. He talks it over with the hurler, Tom Walker. First and second, nobody out. The Expos look for the bunt as Sizemore stands in. Ted on the night has singled and scored. He's 1 for 3. Walker checks the runners, brings it home. Sizemore is going to bunt. He does. Down the third base line. Walker gets it, throws the third. He's out. Fine play by the Montreal right-hander, Tom Walker. It was a pretty good bunt by Sizemore. Walker hustled over there, and he got it on the hop. He would not have got that hop. He would have been in trouble, because he could have never thrown Sizemore out. His only play was at third, and he got him. Now Smith stands in with Brock at second base. Sizemore on at first. Have to keep a close eye to see if Brock wants to do any running. Reggie Smith stands in. Reggie has walked and scored. He's 0 for 2. Walker checks Brock at second. He cannot get a big lead. Pitch to Smith. Curveball inside, ball 1. The shortstop Foley is right in behind Brock. And Lou can get just a short lead. Third baseman Perry's way off the line. Even with the bag as the pitch comes to Smith. Line drive, base hit down the right field corner. It may go to the wall. It does. Brock's around third to score. Here comes Sizemore. He's going to score. Smith digs for third. The throw comes home and Sizemore's safe. Smith goes into third with a 2-run triple. And the Cardinals now lead 5-1. Reggie Smith did the job. He ripped a triple around the right field line, and the Cardinals grabbed a 4-run lead now, 5-1. Brock scored, and Sizemore came home all the way from first base. And now Simmons stands in. Ted had a big 3-run homer in the opening frame as he got the Cardinals on top. He's 1 for 3 with that 20th home run of his. He's now set his own record for home runs while catching. That was number 17 while catching. He has 20 on the year, and he has 103 RBIs. That's also a career high. The infield is in for the play at the plate. Smith at third, pitch to Simmons. Smash! Great play by the second baseman. Lynch has it over to first, and Smith has to stay at third base. Lynch left his feet, gloved the ball right in the webbing, scampered up, got Simmons, and Smith had to stay at third base. 2 down. Now Torrey stands in. Joe on the night is 0 for 3. Infield drops back. John Montague starts to warm up in the Expo bullpen. Pitch to Torrey, smash to the first baseman. Jorgensen has it. He handles it himself. That takes care of Torrey and the Cardinals here in the 8th inning, but they score twice on 2 hits. 1 Expo error. They strand a man. Cardinals have now left 3 in this ball game, but the big 2-run triple by Reggie Smith after 7 1/2 innings going into the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals are now on top of the Expos 5-1.
On the baseball scoreboard, taking a look, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros are now in the bottom of the 4th inning. There's still no score in that game. That's Los Angeles and Houston. The Dodgers, if they can win that ball game, well, then, of course, the Dodgers will have then clinched the National League West. Cleveland and Boston are now on the top of the 9th at Boston, and the Indians are leading by the score of 2-1. At Detroit, Bobby Grich has hit his 19th home run for Baltimore in the 6th with nobody on base, as Baltimore really doing a job there. Pittsburgh has already won its game with Chicago, 2-4-0 for Pittsburgh. A run, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Chicago. Keeson the winner, 9-8. Bonham the loser, 11-22.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bob Forrest takes his warm-up tosses. He's given the Expos only 1 run on 2 hits. Both of those hits came in the 7th inning after he had no hit. The Expos for the first 6 2/3. He gave up a double to Jorgensen and then an RBI single to Ken Singleton. Forrest will face the bottom 3 in the Montreal order. Foote, Parrish, and then the pitcher, and probably a pinch hitter. John Montague warms in the Expo bullpen as Force works to Foote. Time is called as the first pitch comes home. There's a bullpen ball on the field. Cardinals keep their bullpen busy. Alan Foster throws down there. We're in the 8th. Redbirds on top, 5-1. Cardinals have out-hit Montreal 6-2. Bob Forrest brings the first one in. Barry Foote, a swing and a miss as he chased the sinker. down around his knees. On deck, it's the rookie Larry Parrish as Barry Foote looks at a fastball too far outside. That evens the count 1-1. A 1-1 heads in. Foote, line drive, center field. It may drop in there. So Sizemore back out and makes a nice grab for the first out here in the eighth. Sizemore raced back and grabbed it. One down as Larry Perry stands in. Sizemore got back into shallow center field rather quickly. Little humpback liner. He grabbed it, and now Perry stands in. First one to him is a fastball, a called strike. Force with another pitch. Curve. This one misses. Outside, 1-1. One delivery is a fastball from the Cardinal right-hander. Inside, ball 2. 2-1. We're in the eighth. 5-1 Redbird. Swing and a little tap foul. We're leaving the count 2-2 now. On the rookie, Larry Parrish. He's grounded out twice tonight. He's 0 for 2. Pat Scanlon, the rookie infielder, is on deck. And a 2-2 delivery heads home from Force. Parrish. Little ground ball past the third base bag is foul. Foul has reached, grabbed it in foul territory. And Parrish will make the long walk back to home plate. Redbird scored 3 runs in the first inning on a 3-run homer off the bat of Ted Simmons, his 20th of the year. And they scored 2 more times in the eighth on a triple by Reggie Schmidt. 1 down, 8th inning for the Expos. As Larry Parrish waits for a 2-2 delivery, a bullpen ball gets back on the field and time is called. Now we're ready to go. Force removed his cap, puts it back on, now stands on, gets his sign, and he goes to work. A 2-2 delivery. Strike called. A fastball at the letters. He's down on strike. Simmons thought there were 3 outs. He started to walk off. That strikeout is the first strikeout for Force tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and now pitch hitter Pat Scanlon,
number 42.
young man from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's a left-handed batter. Hit 283 at Memphis this year. He's 1 for 3 with the Expos. He taps the first one foul past first base, and Force is quickly out in front. Pat Scanlon, little left-handed batter. 6 foot 170. Stands deep in the box. Holds it on the end as the pitch comes to him. It's a strike call, a good sinking fastball that catches the outside corner. And Force is out in front now. No balls, 2 strikes. Play Scanlon straight away in the outfield. And here's the 0-2 coming in. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Force strikes out 2 in this inning. The first 2 of the game. 3 up, 3 down for the Expos. And after 8 complete innings, Cardinals 5, Montreal 1.
Well, it looks like both the Cardinals and the Pirates will go through this day again dead even. That's, of course, assuming St. Louis holds on to this lead. Pittsburgh has already defeated Chicago. That was a close one. The Pirates did it by the score of 2-1. We can update that Los Angeles-Houston game. Houston has scored in the bottom of the 4th inning, and after 4 innings of play at Houston, it's the Astros 1, the Dodgers nothing. The Dodgers can clinch the National League West with a victory over Houston. Sunday in the National League, St. Louis beat Chicago 7-2, New York over Pittsburgh 7-2. That resulted in the tie that we have right now in the National League East. Montreal 6, Philadelphia 3. Cincinnati beat San Francisco 7-3, and Houston knocked off Atlanta by the score of 9-6.
We chatter our way into the ninth inning of this game. Let me open this window. We try to keep the windows closed between innings, but then it sounds poor when we have the windows closed and we talk, so we have to sit out here. It's a little better for the atmosphere of the game anyhow. We get right next to it. The Cardinals are about hit. Montreal 6-2 and lead 5-1 ninth inning. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 2-1. Cubs gave them a good effort tonight, Mike, didn't they? And I thought Bonham might beat him, but he didn't.
Yeah, he pitched a fine game. He gave up only 4 hits, but Bruce Keeson came to the front, Jack. He did a good job against us in St. Louis, and he pitched a 3-hitter to get the win.
Here is Montague on the mound now, the third hurler of the night for Montreal. Cardinals leading 5-1 ninth inning. Walker pitched 2 innings, 2 runs, 2 hits. An error hurt him. He struck out 1 and walked none. So 3 runs off Rogers, 2 off Walker, and Montague throws low for a ball to McBride, who's 1 for 3. Alan Foster loosens up in the bullpen. Here comes the pitch on the way, and a foul out of play by McBride puts him in the hole. He'll be followed by Reitz and Tyson in this inning. They haven't announced the attendance here as yet. Nobody on or out in the ninth. Cardinals leading 5-1. Here is the pitch to McBride. Ball inside. 2-2. If the Cardinals win here and stay with the Pirates with identical records and tie for first, the race cannot possibly end until Wednesday night. Tomorrow night could not decide it. Oh, I'm shivering. Here's the 2-2. There's the line drive caught by the first baseman Jorgensen. And McBride is robbed of a double or a triple with a line drive caught by the first baseman. Montague retires his first opponent. And the batter is Ken Reitz. He's 0 for 3. Pitch to Kenny. Low ball 1. If after Wednesday the Pirates and the Cardinals are still tied, we have an afternoon game in Pittsburgh to decide it all. Imagine that. After 162 games, you have to play 1 to decide it. Couldn't we both play the Dodgers? 5-1, the Cardinals lead in the ninth inning. Here's the pitch and a swing and a foul. 2 balls and a strike to Reitz.
This weather's getting to you, Jack.
I'm not ready for this. Last day of September. The pitch to Reitz, a swing and a miss. He chased a bad ball, 2-2. In the ninth inning, the Expos will have the top of their batting order up. Ball low. That's the way it always is, isn't it? You have the lead. The other team comes to bat in the ninth. Top of the order is always up. Having a double day. Does it again.
There's a 1-run lead. It's always Willie McCovey, Willie Mays, Willie Stargell, one of those guys to hit against you.
Here is Reitz fouling the ball off to the left. Billy Williams is the one for me. It always seems he bats every inning for Chicago. He had to leave the game over there, by the way. He started tonight against the Pirates. He's nursing an ankle injury, and he had to depart the game, which the Pirates won by the score of 2-1. Houston's leading the Dodgers, and that one isn't over yet, folks. There's a smash foul to the right side by Reitz, keeping it 3-2. The Dodgers have clinched the tie, but they have not clinched the division title. They're in the bottom of the 5th, and Houston leads 1-0. There's a ground ball to the left side by Reitz, charged by the third baseman, and that's the first infield hit of the year for Reitz. Third baseman Parrish came up with it, but could make no play. And Ken Reitz legs one out.
I reckon he's laughing down there, Jack, as he walks back to first base.
Yeah, take that. That makes up for some of the line drives that have been caught off his bat. And he's on at first with one out. Bob Forsch has not only pitched a strong game, but he's had 2 hits and started a 2-run rally in this contest. Montague checks Kenny Reitz, pitches to Tyson inside. Mike's 0 for 3. That was the 7th Cardinal hit. Cards have out-hit Montreal 7-2 and lead 5-1. Here's the pitch on the way, and it is high for a ball. And it's 2-0. Cardinals have the edge on the year. 8-7 over the Expos. The pitch, swing and a high pop foul. The wind keeps it in play for Barry Foote, and he has it for the out. So he's 1 for 2 in that department. There's been only one error in the game. That by the Expos, and it helped the Cardinals score a couple.
And a big 2 it was, Jack.
Because Montreal had just come back with their first run of the game, making it 3-1 going into the 8th inning of the game. And the Cardinals got 2. Forsch is the batter now. What a brilliant game he has worked tonight. And he's had 2 hits at the plate. He might be bunting with 2 men out. He's going to swing and takes ball 1.
Now I know the weather. Gotten to you.
Oh, excuse me, I meant with 1 man out. There are 2 out, right. I'm going to send my brain to the Smithsonian. Here's a ball low, ball 2.
That's a thought out first, right? Oh.
2 balls, no strikes. Reitz on at first, 2 out. Foul by Forsch. Back into the seats, 2-1. If he makes the last out, that means Brock will lead off tomorrow night. 5-1, the Cardinals leading in the 9th inning. Here's the pitch, and it's low. 3-1 the count. Cards scored 3 in the first, 2 in the 8th, batting in the 9th. And the pitch fouled out of play. Houston just got 3 more. They lead the Dodgers by the score of 4-0 after 5, and I tell you that last victory might be very tough to come by for the Dodgers. Cardinals went out to the West Coast one year and knocked the Dodgers right out of it. Took 3 in a row and put the Giants in it. Here is ball 4, and Forsch draws a walk. Reitz goes down to second, and the batter is Lou Brock. Lou is 0 for 3 with a walk. Brock will still lead off tomorrow.
That was in 1962, Jack, when the Redbirds went in there and they won the final ball game on a home run from
Al Oliver.
Not Al Oliver.
Bob Oliver.
No.
Gene Oliver.
Gene Oliver, right. Gene Oliver up
so 200.
Padres 1-0, and then they went to the playoffs and they lost it.
2 on, 2 out, the batter Brock. The pitch. Low inside, gets away, and the runners advance. A wild pitch is charged to Montague. Reitz goes to third base, forced down to second. They might walk Brock here. Ball 1, the count to Lou. 5-1, the Cards lead, 9th inning. Pittsburgh won their game over the Cubs tonight, 2-1. John Montague, third hurler of the night, still pitching to Brock, throws a curve and a called strike on the outside corner. Montague, a stocky right-hander, has followed Rogers and Walker to the mound. His pitch, curve and a swing and a miss, puts Brock in the hole, 1-2.
Pace, the third baseman, is way in on the grass. He's almost 10 feet in front of the bag, and Brock, well, that curveball was trying to smack it past him over at third. He moves back a bit, but he's still way in front of the base, even though Brock has 2 strikes on him.
Reitz on at third base, Forsch on at second with 2 outs. Montague goes into the windup. Pitches and a swing and a foul back to the screen. Cards got 3 in the first. Sizemore singled. Smith walked, and Simmons homered. Came up with 2 in the 8th inning, driven in by Smith. Brock bounces the ball to short. Foley has it. His throw is there for the out, and the Cardinals threaten but do not score in the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit. 2 left. The Cards have left 5. We go into the bottom of the 9th inning. St. Louis 5 and Montreal 1.
So, 3 big outs to go for Bob Force. And if he can get all 3, the Redbirds and the Pirates will be exactly where they were yesterday afternoon. Cardinals have won 85, lost 74. The Pirates, with that win tonight, have won 86 and lost 74. Both clubs, 11 games over the 500 mark. Then it comes Montreal and Philadelphia. They're all tied, 7 games behind, 78 and 81. All mathematically eliminated. The Redbirds hang on. They'll be 12 games over the 500 mark and tied with the Pirates. Bob Force has done an excellent job this evening. He walks to the hill as he prepares to work the 9th to the Expos. Tomorrow night it's Gibson against Torres. We're going to pause for identification before Force works to the top of the Montreal lineup. In the bottom of the 9th with the Cardinals on top 5-1. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
This is American Forces Radio at 790 and 1420.
SCN to the zone.
We go into the bottom of the 9th. 5-1, the Cardinals lead. They've out-hit Montreal 7-2. Hrabosky and Garman stay loose in the bullpen. Larry Lentz is the batter. He's grounded out 3 times. Lentz, a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Foley will follow, and then Davis. Bob Porsche on the mound. He's walked 2, fanned 2, throws a strike, and gets ahead. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 2-1. Cardinals lead here 5-1. And if the Cardinals win, we'll still be tied with only 2 games left to play. Here comes the next delivery. A changeup and a ball. 1-1. Cool night. Breeze blowing. Wind, not a breeze. The 1-1. Lynch swings, grounds it back to the mound for the 3rd time. Force throws him out. 1 gone. 1 man gone here in the 9th inning. And the batter is Foley. Tim Foley has walked once. He's 0 for 2. This Montreal can be a formidable foe, but Force has stopped them on only 2 hits thus far. The batter, Tim Foley, the outfielder on to the right. Into the windup, the Cardinal right-hander pitches. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Cards got 3 in the first, driven in by Simmons. 2 in the 8th, driven in by Smith. Smith has played the entire game tonight, and that's important. Here it comes. Foley takes the ball, and it's 1-1. Billy Williams, the plate umpire, has called the balls and strikes without incident tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Foley. A swing and a high fly to right. Reggie Smith playing the wind is there and has it for the out. 2 gone. Cardinals are 1 out away from a win. And brilliant is the only word for the effort by Bob Force here tonight. He strives for his 7th win of the year and figures to be very important for the Cardinals next year. Big, strong kid. Not only could win the game here tonight, but give the bullpen a complete day off. Here's the pitch. Swing and a tap foul by Willie Davis. Davis 0 for 3 in the game. Force did not allow a hit until 2 men were out in the 7th inning. Then the Expos scored their only run as they put their 2 hits together. Next one to Willie Davis. Swing and a line drive, base hit to right, so this one isn't over. Willie Davis lines a single to right with 2 men out. And the batter is Jorgensen.
The rookie here, the first baseman.
Jorgensen's been on base twice with a walk and a double. He has scored the only Montreal run. Did we ever get the attendance count? They haven't announced the attendances yet. We'll get that for you. It's only a few thousand. Here's a high fly ball into left center. It's McBride, and now Brock getting under it, and Lou's got it for the out, and the Cardinals win and stay in a first-place tie. What a game by Bob Ford. 5-1 Cardinals. Totals and highlights in a minute.
Okay, so the St. Louis Cardinals have rung the bell here, and Pittsburgh has won earlier. The Pirates knocking off Chicago by the score of 2-1. So now the 2 teams are tied at 86 and 74. They remain tied for first place as the both clubs go into action on Tuesday. So time running out, but both Pittsburgh and St. Louis are hanging right in there in the National League's Eastern Division. A final score in the National League: Cleveland took a 2-1 victory over Boston. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Cleveland. 1 run, 9 hits, and 2 errors for Boston. Jim Perry was the winner. His record is now 17-12.
Close the window here in the booth, so if it sounds a little different, that's the reason for it. The Cardinals and the Pirates remain in a first-place tie. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 2-1. Cardinals beat Montreal 5-1. Cardinals have now won 86 and lost 74, the same for Pittsburgh. And this loss precludes the opportunity of Montreal finishing at the 500 mark. They're now 4 games under with only 2 games left to play.